we decided to explore Walker's Creek trailhead area, do some off-trail exploring today. It's just this spring, and yeah, there's a controlled burnout here in this area that we came across. That's just the tape the Forest Service had back a couple weeks ago. So yeah, a couple weeks ago they had a controlled burn. I don't know how many acres they burn out here, but yeah, we'll just explore a little bit and see what we come across. We got some cords from a subscriber to a possible homestead. We'll check that out, and we'll let you know what we find. And then let us know about that theory of controlled burns and cryptic creatures. Does it run them out? Does it keep away? What is that about? But anyway, let's go see if we can hear any tree knocks or anything. Not likely in this section, but we never know. So there's the Uwharrie Trail with the white blazes, and then they cut that tree down. That's the firewall that runs down this way. The Forest Service cut all this back for the firewall. It goes to Walker's Creek. The water wall is down there as well, not too far from here. But we're gonna, yeah, they did. They cut that big tree down right through there. See, Uwharrie Trail, and again, lots of quartz throughout the Uwharrie. Lots of quartz. A lot of mining history too. Looks different with the leaves gone, and that burn.
This smells. I like it.
Smells kind of fresh too, don't it?
It smells good. No pollen. Nothing.
But the forestry floor is clean. All the duff, that buildup on the forestry floor, is now gone in this area. So let's see what we can find. It might make exploring a little bit easier too. We had forgot they did this controlled burn out here in this section. So we're glad we found it. It's gonna make our exploring a little bit easier, and we'll see if we see any prints or anything out this way. And then of course the trail goes through these rocks, which is kind of neat. Now there had been some historical studies out here in this section by some universities. I don't know which one it was. I don't know if it was Wake Forest or which one it was that used to have a historical site out here, where there was some rocks that the Indians and our ancient people used to use to carve and make tools and weapons out of. Look at that. A charred area. That's a wicked looking tree.
All the way up it.
Blue skies today.
It's nice today.
Now pollen is going to be rough all through March and April. Yeah, we already got that all over. There ain't no getting out of that for a while. Especially early spring, the pine pollen is really high. That's what our local news says. It looks different with the leaves gone.
I quite like it, man. You can see a long way. Old metal grill thing survived.
Yeah, the fire burned through the moonshine equipment out here. Looks different with the leaves gone. But that is what they would use. I think it's sorghum.
Yeah.
They would use that to put the sorghum in, I guess, bullet or whatever.
Make sugar out of it or something.
For moonshine. And you can see this equipment pretty good. Now with the leaves gone, it's easy to walk around this piece of equipment. That's the back side of it. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Before it had all these sticks, and oh, it's rusted pretty bad from this angle, you can tell.
Yeah.
The floor of it's rusted out right here. But no, the you come across that moonshine equipment. It's been in some of our other videos, but wow, that's a clean look at it now with the leaves gone. But right down below it is a creek. As you approach that moonshine equipment, there's a little creek that runs through here. It's not Walker's Creek, but it is a creek. And then across from it, you can really see the rocks good. All the leaves are burned off of them. Look at all these rocks. There's our water wall with no leaves since the fire burnt down to the water wall. We hadn't planned to come to the water wall actually, but since we were here out here at it, that's the water wall on Walker's Creek. That fire burnt through here, but there's still there's still brush though, but you can see it pretty good. Man, you can go down here like nobody's gonna know you're around. There's no leaves, so it's silent. There's that water wall that comes down. We have a video already of it, but this is where the fire came through. The fire stopped at the Walker's Creek, so it's cleaned out pretty good. And that's the water wall on this side of the creek, and it keeps going across there. But check our other video out on that. We covered both sides of the creek with the water wall already. That's a neat find in this section. We just thought we'd run by it since we're out this way. The fire burnt to Walker's Creek, it looks like. Right up to the water wall and around it. I'm going through all this brush right now. What do you think, man? Cleaned out good, ain't it?
Looks a little good now.
We were able to see deer prints in the soil. A few deer prints.
For me, very easy.
There she sits. Camera don't do justice, but there she sits, the water wall. It's not very far off trail. Off the Uwharrie Trail out here, but see, we're off trail now going up to another site that we want to check out. And it's kind of weird just walking in the woods with no sound. You can really see the rocks good after these burns. Maybe we'll title this video Controlled Burn Hike. I don't know. It is interesting. It's my first time hiking right after a controlled burn, but you can see good. We'll hit you up as we explore a little bit more. We're going to go off trail for sure now and just go see what we find for a little while. And now we're back on the trail, kinda. Yeah, we're back on the Uwharrie Trail that way. And the Uwharrie Trail is called the Little Appalachian Trail sometimes. It's a challenge, but we have hiked it all, sectioned it out, that is. That is an experience for sure. All right, guys. Hit you up in a few. What do we find?
Found a road.
Here's the old forestry road. They used this as the fire line for the controlled burn. We haven't seen any prints or anything. We went to some cords that somebody sent but struck out, so nothing out of the ordinary. But this roadbed, yes, ran right by the cords, or not far from them. You can tell where they've harvested some of the trees in here years ago. But we'll keep exploring just a little bit. We're gonna walk this fire break old forestry road back a little ways, and then we might walk Walker's Creek kind of back toward the Uwharrie Trail, toward the trailhead, and see if we see anything that way, because you would think old homesteads or anything would be near the creek. A rock we found, some metal. I don't know what that would have been for. There's some metal through here and a pile of rock along this old fire break road. See the fire break here. Kind of weird, but other than that, one thing we've noticed after these controlled burns is a lot of pits where stumps used to be. We have found a lot of holes that go in the ground from where rotten stumps were. So you have to be careful. So they say it's good for forestry health. See, there's a stump is still in here, but it creates holes all around it. But there were some holes that went 2 and 3 and 4 foot deep. Were old stumps. It just looks spooky and weird. Everything's dark on the ground from the controlled burn. We're gonna make our way toward Walker's Creek, and we're totally off trail at this point on purpose. We have found deer tracks. We're just being careful. That's what we're talking about. I mean, this thing goes down in the ground a long ways. How deep do you think that hole is?
2 feet.
Look at that.
I think 2 feet.
That's a couple feet deep right there. And then we found a random bucket, 5-gallon bucket in the woods. I don't know if that might have something to do with somebody trying to feed deer or something. It's just a bucket. There's some wire. Look at that. Some wire fencing or something on it. That has been there a long time, this bucket. That might be something that somebody was using to feed deer, possibly. I don't know. We have seen deer track. Yeah, definitely deer tracks all through here. But we're not in deer season nothing right now, and hunting season's out. What the? Look at this gook.
Some sort of mesh fungus.
Yep. Moss daddy got burned up. We'll keep on randomly walking around in the dark forest. Look at that. This is not Walker's Creek, but it flows into it. But yeah, nice little stream that runs through. This would be a perfect spot for a homestead, but we haven't seen anything yet. But we're close to where this stream goes into Walker's Creek. Pretty cool tree. We have found a lot of burnt nuts.
Squirrels with this, that's for sure.
A lot of charred nuts. A beautiful stream that flows through this area into Walker's Creek. Right in here would be a good spot for a homestead. We're just looking around. So far, nothing. That's a natural fall, but isn't that cool? Sometimes you see triangles, strange, but that's not. That's a natural fall, you would think. But where did this tree come? Where did this come from? The odd thing with it is this tree that fell, this limb fell in here, did not come from this tree. That's the odd thing. It's like, what tree did it come from? And it did not come from that. It's not the same kind of tree. Where's the bark at? It's weird. See, the bark is not the same. So I don't know what tree it came from. Nothing there. That's why sometimes people say something put it there. But anyway, we don't know what tree it actually came from. That's strange. Some people say that limbs blow down onto something else, but I don't know. And then nearby, so that's like something put it in that tree. It makes like a triangle. And then nearby is a weird tree with a bunch of lumps on it. We have seen some like this. I don't know what causes all these lumps. That tree is full of lumps. All over it. This is a flat area in the forest where a stream comes into Walker's Creek, and we thought there could be a homestead up here. So that's why we're scoping it out. And we got lucky with a controlled burn, making it easier to see and easier to walk. Old dead trees laying down. You can be creative with it. It's almost like spine of a dinosaur. It's not, but I mean, you know, see how it, that's pretty cool. It is so flat on this section, but no signs. It may have been farmed at one point in time, possibly. We'll keep looking. These rocks here, I don't know They're kind of like a circular shaped pile of rocks in here, but we don't, or square or something, yeah. So there is a pile of rocks here. I don't know if it's an old camp fire ring or what it could be. And it's on this flat ridge. We're gonna work our way back down toward Walker's Creek and see if we see any evidence that way, and then work our way back to the trailhead from there. That's a deep hole. That is the entire length of hiking pole. That's waist deep, guys. This big hole with that old rotten stump. That's what? Waist deep, ain't it?
It's all scratched up.
What is?
That tree. Scratched up.
Looks like it. Deer.
Yeah,
Deer may have been scratched on the tree. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna work our way. See what other cool stuff we can find out here. At least we're finding something kind of cool. And definitely a unique experience walking around off trail after a recent controlled burn. You can still smell the burnt in the air, you know. All right, we'll cut back in if we find anything else kind of cool. Woods.
Turkey.
And we're not talking about ourselves, folks, but we did see a live turkey going up the bank. The GoPro ain't gonna pick it up. So yeah, there's turkey out here, guys. And then we've got the old fire line road there where the control burn stopped. And then beyond that is Laster Mill Road. All right, guys, we're gonna keep it going. All right, folks. We struck out the homestead, but it could be nothing but rubble at this point. It was standing because somebody sent a picture of it, the chimney. We'll give it a go another time, but what interesting day as far as this is what it looks like on this side. Regular woods and Uwharrie Trail going back up to the Walker's Creek Trailhead. Pretty normal, right? Then the other side here, that's where the controlled burn was. Not much leaves there left. They're gone and burnt. And then so we did hike in a controlled burn area. Just a different experience a little bit. But anyway, what did you think of about the day?
That's pretty cool. Good hike.
You can see a lot more, and it's easier to hike off trail without all the leaves and limbs in the way. You still got tree fall and stuff like that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. We just want to do something small today and different, and just experiment off trail in this controlled burn area that happened recently in the last week or two. So let us know if you know anything about the homestead out here in Walker's Creek area. We know about the water wall, but as far as the homestead goes, not sure. Those things are disappearing. So stay tuned, and we'll post some more stuff soon and go explore some new places. Like, subscribe, holler at us if you need something, and let us know what you think of this area, or if you've been out here. Anything you want to say, sir?
No, good hike. Found part of the skeleton in a tree.
Trees are alive. Lord of the Rings has them walking and
Sound pretty.
And everything, so we caught one. Here's the tree that's been following us in the woods for a while. Every time we look, it stops, but it's been walking behind us, and there's a bone. It does have bones. Not for real though. Look, that is a bone. Look, what kind of bone is this, guys?
Green bean.
You never know what you might find walking around in the Uwharries, right? So anyway, somebody probably found that bone and put it in that tree, but I don't know what kind of bone that is, but there you go. We heard no Sasquatches today, and we didn't see any prints, but nothing out of ordinary.